thanks for joining me. I'm sitting here with Coach Ozzie Exume, the head coach of the Gilbert Indians at Gilbert High School. Coach, you used the 4-second football this year. We were glad that we're here to see how it was able to help you. So, can you just kind of recap how your season went in 2024, 2025?
Yes, we had a slow start. I've been here for 9 years in total, but the first year as a head coach, and we had a slow start. We started the year off for 1-3, had some games that we felt like, that we had a chance to win, and we kind of had to take a second. The hurricane came and kind of slowed everything down, and we were able after that hurricane just to kind of get back into the basics. And we end up winning 7 of our last 9 games and losing the third round of playoffs. So when you're looking at gauging success for year one, getting to the third round was pretty good.
Yeah, no, getting third round is pretty deep. I mean, it's 2 games away from the state championship. I'm pretty sure that's the expectation and the goal for for most teams, but it's not a realistic goal for all teams. So the fact that you guys got so close, that's amazing. You said starting out 1-3 and then finishing, I think you said 7 out of the last 9.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the hardest thing is when you come into a new job, and really the situation was a familiar one, but it was a new job, and it's one of those things where you try to do so many things, and your mind's churning every week about some things that you can do. But I think for us, it was just try to get back to the basics and how do we help our players win each week. And so we were able to tackle that, had great game plan, great coaches that were coaching their tails off, and players that believed. So it worked out.
No, that's awesome. One question that I have is, with using 4-second football, was it able to help you all? And if so, how do you think it benefited your team and your quarterback?
I think just one of the biggest things is it was huge for us. Around the time that the hurricane came, we got our balls in, and so we were able to kind of find a way to use them, and we were using them in drills where, at first there was just a pass rush, and the receivers were always open. We call it 11 on 7, so it's 11 guys on offense, 7 guys on the defense. They're blitzing and stunning, and we're just trying to work our blocks up front, but our quarterback is working his timing of his routes. And so from there, we kind of graduated to using it 7 on 7, where there is no lineman anymore. It's just pass coverage and your receivers. And we were able to be in a situation where we're working our quarterback and how are they reading and looking at what they're supposed to be looking at. And the moral of the story was it was huge because the first month of the season, our quarterback struggled. There were some things that he wasn't seeing well. He wasn't comfortable in some of the reads, and his pocket presence was a little kind of all over the place. And the 4-second of football helped train his mind to where he was putting a time frame on some of those reads. And we were able to use it during practice and track data to where we're able to look at, hey, he's really good when the ball's out in two to 3 seconds. He's not as efficient if the ball's in his hands for more than 3. And so now we're talking about how we're calling plays, how we're setting up plays. And I think for him, he was able to progress things a lot faster. He struggled that first month, and then really simultaneously with the use of that ball that first week, he went on a stretch of throwing 13 touchdowns in 3 games. And he was just seeing things so much faster. That first read's open, he's hitting it now. That first read's not there, he was quickly going to read 2 or moving it to read 3. And most high school quarterbacks don't go to 3 reads. And most high school coaches, they try to keep it at 2 reads. But he was moving through things so quickly and seeing things so much better that he was hitting his checkdowns. He was hitting his third option, his second option. So his processing speed sped up immensely. And I think that led him to really having a solid year as a first-year starter.
Yeah, no, that sounds very much on par with the data that we see. A lot of the data that we get and study is from the NFL, right? And we see some of the same things with guys who are better when they get the ball out quick versus when they hold on to it. And one thing, I don't know if you may have even noticed, is that penalties are a lot less likely to happen too. The faster a quarterback gets the ball out of his hand, the longer the offensive line doesn't have to hold blocks as long, so the less likely that they are to get a penalty. Less likely to get an illegal, ineligible receiver downfield. Less likely to get injured. So many things, so many positives do come when quarterbacks are more decisive with getting the ball out of their hands. So that's awesome that you all were able to see that at the high school level as well. As we're getting ready to go into the spring, are there any new drills or new ways that you can foresee using the ball heading into next season?
Well, now that we're bringing another first-year starter quarterback next year, but I think something we've learned and saw is we're going to try to use this during spring practice and allow our quarterback to kind of get a feel. He hadn't started. Like, this is a first-time thing for him. And so our job as coaches is to make the environment as comfortable as possible. And for a high school quarterback, pocket presence is huge. A lot of quarterbacks don't have it in high school. It's hard to teach. It comes from experience and time. So we're going to try to train him to get the ball out in 3 seconds or less, to know what's happening in 3 seconds, to know where his receivers should be. At the same time, it's going to help our wideouts know I got to get open in this 2 to 3 second window, or this whole thing is done. So that's one thing that we're going to do in some of his individual drills. So not with anybody else, just with his coach. He'll be able to, you see it from pro guys. They'll do this kind of getting their mind prepared for games and practice. It'll just be them. They'll take a snap. They'll take their steps, and they'll look at each read, even though that person is not there. But they're visualizing where that person is supposed to be at this time. And using the football and using that, I think our quarterback can process each read and the placement of where those people are and how to control his eyes in that time frame. And when he gets that buzz at 4 seconds, he should be through the first, the second to the check down, or first, second, third to the check down, or tucking in and running it. But we're going to try to practice that in practice, but as much reps as he can get with nobody there, that's something that he can do at home. That's something he can be in the backyard. And he can take his drop and he can 1, 2, 3, tuck and go, 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we get into 7-on-7 season in the summertime, you really can't wear that watch or do that or play with that ball, but you're programmed to process. And in 7-on-7, they blow whistle after 4 seconds and the play's done. But now he's kind of, since March, since April, been really working through those things. So it's second nature. And then now in the season, he's not thinking about it. He knows that clock's in his head. He knows what's there. He knows that I'm reading that, that curl route, corner route, flat route. By the time I get to my flat route, that's 4 seconds or 3.5. That ball's got to go, or I got to do something else. So,
yeah. No, spot on once again. And that's one thing that I'm personally doing some more research into is when we talk about quarterback timing and the timing of routes, even if a quarterback is working on his own, some people actually believe that certain routes should be thrown in like 2 seconds or less, like maybe a slant, a hitch, right? Maybe a out route, it 2.5 seconds, or if you don't have it out in that amount of time, then you got to go to the next read, right? Or 1.5 to 2 seconds, right? But it's got to be quick screens. I don't know if you all used it in the sense of timing, how fast you get it out on a quick screen, because you might say, hey, we need the ball out in 1 second, 1.3 seconds or less, right? That way you can disable that edge coming across because you're getting it out so fast on the edge. So it's so many ways that it can still be utilized. So I'm glad that it was able to help your quarterback and speed up that clock. And, statistically, quarterbacks who get it out quicker and are more decisive are better performers. And it sounds like you all experienced that. So we're really excited to follow your journey going into next year. One thing that I want to show you really quick is some of the new features and one other way that you all could be able to use it going into next year. So I think you can see this clock here on the screen, right? This app probably looks familiar. So this is the app, and one of the upgrade features that we've done. So here's the ball. One of the upgrade features that we did is now when you get the ball out of your hand, I forgot I put it on 2.5 seconds, but we implemented voice commands. So now you can just talk to it and you can say, complete short, and boom, it'll already automatically track your data. And let me change this to 4 seconds so it's not blowing our ears off. All right. Then when you get it out, you can automatic reset, as you know, and you can still come in here and tap the data point if you want. So you could just go ahead and hit, let's just go ahead and log an incompletion. So we'll say incomplete medium. So now the benefit of that is in real time, you can show your quarterback real time. We aggregate that data, as you already know, but this is a different layout. And then one of the cool features that we just made for quarterbacks at home who use it, you can see throws under 2.5 seconds, throws over 2.5 seconds, completion percentage by ranges, short, medium versus long. So let's see how accurate you are on explosive plays, mid-range throws, and then quick game. And then under 2.5 versus over 2.5. A really cool feature that we added is this AI assistant, where the AI will kind of tell you, hey, remember to do these things. Remember to keep your feet shoulder width apart, engage your core, use your hips, and keep your arm at a 90-degree angle, right? You can see some of these cool tips and drills that we'll give you as a part of the upgrade feature that you all utilize. Focus on quick, compact release for quick throws, keep your eyes downfield, and utilize a balanced stance. Some things that we may forget when we're just going through the motion. And the very last drill that I wanted to kind of show you that I think you can really get some use out of, and I actually was taking a look at your profile. You used to coach the O-line.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I was offensive line coach for 8 years here.
Now, as an offensive line coach, how long do you want your O-line holding blocks?
I always tell them that you want to block for the least amount of time as possible, but you want to give your quarterback time and space to make that block. We talk about guards and centers creating depth and tackles creating width of the pocket. So ideally, if you can get your hands on, if you're blocking for 1.5 seconds and you have created another second of space, then you give that defensive lineman, they have 1 second after that to either get to the quarterback, or to get a hand to get a hand down. So we want to block, we want to give our quarterbacks at least 3 full seconds every single time.
Right.
4 seconds is definitely the goal, the highest goal, but block for the least amount of time as possible, but creating 3 seconds of time.
Well, one drill that we thought of is if you come in here and let's say you put this clock on 2.5 seconds to create more competition between your D line and your O line, you can tell the defensive lineman, hey, when I snap the ball, I'm going to separate the ball from my hand when you touch the dummy bag, right? When you guys do 1-on-1 drill or 5-on-4, you can make drills. But now when they're trying to touch that bag to simulate a sack with the quarterback, you can show everybody, hey, D lineman, this is how fast you got to the quarterback, 2.8 seconds. O lineman, that's about how long you held the block before pressure then got to our quarterback. So now you could tell the D lineman, hey, great job. We want you a little bit faster. But to the O lineman, hey, we need you a little bit longer, right? What it does is it makes them focus a little bit more. Okay, now I'm locking in. I have a goal that I can see. That immediate feedback is what elevates performance the same way. We believe the same way it elevates the quarterback's performance because they're thinking about that pressure a little bit and they'll adjust to the pressure. We believe the same thing will happen for O linemen and D linemen. So
I agree. I like that.
I would just encourage you to kind of try that out and let us know your thoughts and your feedback.
Absolutely.
So this was an awesome review. Super happy for your success. And I know you guys are going to make it to the 5th round of the playoffs next year, make it all the way to the state championship. And, we're down here in Atlanta, but we'll make a trip up. I'll get with my team and we'll come up and support. We'll probably come to a game anyway. We like the road trip. So thank you, Coach, for your time. We look forward to following your journey.
All right, now, well, thank you.
Absolutely. Have a great spring. Thank you.
Yep.